Hola a todos, bienvenidos a Universal Studios Hollywood y a otro vlog de Liz Family Vlogs. Espero que te guste, recuerda quedarte hasta el final y vamos a iniciar con esta nueva aventura.
As those train gates start to come to a close, we are about to explore one of the world's biggest, most recognizable set on the backlot. We call it Courthouse Square. It's also known as Hill Valley from Back to the Future and Back to the Future Part 2. Yeah, you may notice our courthouse looks a little bit different. That's because we had to change it. Directors didn't want to use this area after the popularity of the movies because they knew audiences would recognize it as Hill Valley. So we built a new facade right on top of that old courthouse facade. The original courthouse is still standing just beyond the front of that building there. Long before the Back to the Future movies, that original than they did in the past. So you'll notice there's a lot more detail in these sets, which are again mostly fiberglass and plywood. And because these sets, hey, car 3 looking good back there. Car 4, the real MVPs. Thanks for holding at the back. You guys are the best. All right, we are heading into King Kong 360. 3D. We're going to hear a quick word from Peter Jackson before we head in.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away.
Make sure your flash is turned off. Taking pictures or videos, make sure your flash is turned on. Outskirts of our metropolitan sets, you'll see Brownstone over to your left, where Bruce Almighty was filmed. We're essentially to your right. This big mural of an apartment building doesn't look very convincing in person. We can tell very easily that's a two-dimensional wall painted to look three-dimensional. But the camera only has one eye, one lens, so it's very hard for it to tell depth perception. As long as everything is shaded correctly, this wall will convince the camera that it's a three-dimensional building every time. Now, speaking of murals, coming up on your right, you'll see a beautiful mural done by a local graffiti artist by the name of Tristan Eaton. He's got an Instagram. Give him a follow. This was all done by hand.
The best. You can be with the S and have this on your chest.
Sweet joys like this will be on Tuesday, NBC and Peacock.
Over to your left, our beautiful Park Lake area that was used for films like Creature from the Black Lagoon. That movie is celebrating its 70th anniversary this year. This is also the old site of a studio tour attraction, The Parting of the Red Sea, based off the movie The Ten Commandments, starring Charlton Heston as Moses. There he is on opening day. Most recently, this was the set of The Afterlife in the Good Place, starring Kristen Bell and Ted Danson.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
What is the bad place like?
Chris Karloff, who played the original Frankenstein's monster. Some of the biggest stars of the 1930s got their start 30 feet to your right-hand side. Here's a few folks talking about our classic monsters.
When you
think of heroes, we think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein,
The Mummy.
Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera, classic. They're just brilliant. That Frankenstein image, flathead, balls, it's one of the great icons of the world. That to me was like the essence of the universal horror film. I was just...
Stay seated, we'll be fine. Make sure your flash is turned off. Let's get a new one. Hold on to your grabaciones. That's not really a hot set, but it really has been in the past. Hot set was used for movies like Beverly Hills Cop 3. Moving in there has to be able to do that hundreds of times a day and reset in under a minute to be ready for the next one. Yeah, that was a little stressful, so let's head over to the studio beach, Amity Island. There was a shark problem, but we've taken care of it. Don't worry about it. We caught the shark. It'll never happen again. My friend George is the scuba diver out here. He's doing one final sweep of the water just to make sure everything is safe for us. It's George's last day on the job. Yeah, we got a retirement cake in the break room for him. He loves chocolate, don't you, George? He can't hear me. He's underwater. Feel free to take some pictures, though. Take a breath of that. Hey, did you hear that ominous... That's John Williams playing. Oh my goodness, there's another shark in the water. Who could have seen that coming? All right, I'm going to call for George. George! George, there's a shark! Swim to the boat, man! Okay, George decided on hand-to-hand combat. George, sharks don't have hands. They have fins. And teeth. You gotta watch out for the teeth. So sorry, children, avert your eyes. Parents, for our safety, we're gonna hide behind these highly flammable gasoline tanks. Remember to stay seated at all times. There's a shark on the loose. This is a dangerous situation. Car 3. Make sure to stay seated all the way in your seat for me, please. Car 3, white shirt, 4th row. Please stay seated all the way in your seat. Scared, but we had some really convincing acting on the right side of the tram. Well done, everybody, well done. This pleasant little beach community was also Cabot Cove in Murder, She Wrote, starring Dame Angela Lansbury. I'm going to pass it over to today's show co-host and weather anchor, Al Roker, to tell you what we're doing next.
Time for my favorite part of the tour, weather.
Academy Award winner Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele takes that technique to a level we've never seen in cinema before. In fact, he picks it apart while he's using it. In a moment, we're going to drive through some of the original sets from Nope. Here's a quick sneak peek of the movie before we head out.
Palmer from Jordan Peele's film, Nope. What's a bad miracle? Well,
I ain't never seen nothing like this.